Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. What is the last class?
Structures, sir. Till array of structure we completed.
Yeah, today nested structures we are going to complete. Nested structures. Right, yesterday we completed array of structures. This is the example. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Cheppamma. Okay. Yeah, everyone log in with the hall ticket numbers. Log in with the hall ticket numbers. Right, this is the Saturday's program. With this we completed what? Array of structures. So this is the array of structure. Struct to student s of 60. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Clear.
So on Saturday we completed this one array of structures. The example is struct student S of 60. That means S of 60 is a array of 60 student structures. So this is the concept we explained, we discussed on Saturday, so that I can say that we completed array of structures. And today we are going to discuss nested structures. Already when we are discussing control statements, we discussed what nested for loop, nested if, nested for, nested while, like that we discussed. What about nested for? Writing a one for loop inside another for loop is called a nested for loop. In the same way, nested structure means writing a structure inside
Into another structure.
inside another structure is called nested structure.
Nested structure.
So I'm opening a new file and I'm saving with what? A nested structure. My keyboard is not working. My keyboard is not working. Let me open it again.
హలో సార్.
చెప్పమ్మా.
సార్ మా ఫ్రెండ్ కొంతమంది లాబీ రూమ్ లో వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నారు సార్.
చేసి యాక్సెప్ట్ చేసిన ఇప్పుడే. సో
Okay,
go to new. Yeah, close this window. Maximize. Go to file menu and save it. Save it with what? What is the topic name?
Nested structures.
nested for loop.
Nested structure dots.
Nested for loop is completed. Nest for loop.
Nested
Nest struct. Like
Structure.
that I am saving. Next struct dot c.
Dot C.
So topic is nested structures. On Saturday class, array of structures and this nested structure both will be asked for short answers. Mostly short answers it will come.
Okay, sir.
Nested structure. This is the topic. The first point is we are going with the definition. What is the definition? Writing a
structure inside a
structure
Written inside another structure.
Another
Inside.
structure is called nested structure. So this is the first point. Like for loop, like nested for loop, writing a for loop in another for loop. In the same way, writing a structure inside another structure is called nested structure. And is that nested structure is supported by C or what? Yes, nested structure is supported by nested structure is supported by C language. Some languages does not support this nesting facility, but our C language supports what?
Nesting.
Nested
Sure.
structure concept also it will support. And same thing I am explaining in the third statement. C allows or we can say we can have structure as a member of another structure. Same thing I'm explaining. The first point and the third point both are same. Writing a structure inside another structure is called nested structure. That means we can have one structure variable inside another structure variable. Both the meanings are same. First point and third point both are same. Writing one structure inside another structure are same thing you can write in another statement like this. We can have structure as a member means like earlier in the student structure we have how many members. We have a id roll number as one member and name is one
3.
member, and the last one percentage is a third member. In the same way we can have the structure variable as a member of the another structure. So that means we are creating a structure inside another structure, that means nested. So if you have one structure variable inside another structure, that means it is a nested. It is nested into another structure. So same thing. First and the third points are both are same, and this nested structure is supported by C language. Now, to nest the structure, first we have to create one structure variable. One structure we have to create. Into that, we are going to nest, or we are going to have a one more structure into that particular structure, so that we have to have the two structures here. So let me define first structure. On Saturday's class, we defined the structure of student. Now I am going to create the structure of the employee. When I talk about structure of the student, what is the data members? What is the members of the structure? Student structure. The student roll number is one member, and name is another member, and the third one is
Name percentage.
percentage, and we can have more numbers also. Father name, mother name, address of the student, like this. Anything you can group under structure, student structure. So when I talk about employee name will be there under employee structure, and employee address we are going to have. These two members are we are going to group together as a employee structure. So to create the any structure we must write. So this nested and everything what I written is not a C language code, so that I'm keeping in the multiple I mean what we can say multi-line comments. Multi-line comments. So this whatever we written till now, all these 3 points are ignored by the C compiler. So just for remembering sake I'm writing, for your sake I'm writing. So let me start the program. Nested structure program, example program. So to nest we need two structures, so that I'm defining the first structure. So define any structure, we need to have the struct keyword, struct, followed by on Saturday's class what we created student structure. For that we followed with the struct keyword followed by the structure name. What is the structure name on Saturday's class? Student. Now we are talking about employee structure, so that the structure name will be employee.
Employee.
And open the brace, close the brace, and semicolon. In between opening and closing braces, you define the members of the structure, employee structure. So first member is name of the employee. Name of the employee will be what? Character or integer? It is a character. So that only single character you can store under name. What we have to do to store the multiple characters, more than one character, we need to create the character array. The maximum limit I am giving 15 characters. Up to 15 characters you can store. And the second member, I need the, if you want to contact the employee, the name is not only alone, a name is not sufficient, so that we will go for address also. Mobile number, that means address I am talking about. So address. So this address is not a single value. Address contains like what it contains: city of the employee, and what is the pin code of that particular city, and the what is the mobile number. So address is again having three properties, three values. So those three values are three variables I'm going to group together under one more structure. Under one more structure.
More structure.
One more structure. That means under ADR structure, how to define one more structure inside? Again, you follow the struct keyword followed
Opening
by
brace.
which structure we are talking about? Address
Address.
structure, and ADR, that address structure variable ADR will contain three members. What are the three members? First one is city.
City.
First one is city. It contains
Sit
inside
pin code.
structure city. It contains first member of the address structure, and second member of the address structure is the pin code it contains,
Pin code.
and
Pin
third
code.
member is the phone number it contains.
Mobile number.
Mobile number or phone number it contains. So all these three we can group under ADR, and struct address ADR is one more structure which is nested inside employee. Employee lo emundi address structure is there, but we didn't define the address structure, so that you define the address structure also above the employee structure. We created variable, but we didn't define the structure for address. So how to define the structure for address? You start with the struct keyword followed by name of the structure. What is the structure? Address.
Address.
Here we written spelling wrong, ADD, and you write the name of the structure, address, followed by opening brace and closing brace, semicolon. In between opening and closing braces, you write down the all the members of the address. What are the members of the address? First one
City
is
pin.
the city. City is a character or integer type?
Character.
So a group of characters. So I am going to take 15 characters. And what is the type of that particular city? It is a character type. And the next member of the address structure is it is a pin code. Pin code is a integer type.
Integer type.
Third member is city. Third member is what?
Mobile number, sir.
Third member is city. I mean, okay, mobile number, phone number. Phone
Integer
number, we
type,
are
sir.
considering a group of characters.
Mobile.
Here, almost 10 characters we are considering. Phone number also I am considering as a character.
Sir,
చెప్పమ్మా.
No, sir, it's integer.
Disturbance ఉందా?
Sir.
అవును సార్, లైట్ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉంది. హలో సార్, ఇదే
Okay, sir.
కొంతమంది లాబీలో వెయిటింగ్ సార్.
అది మధ్యలో ఎందుకమ్మా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ అవుతుంది మధ్యలో?
వాళ్ళు నాకు కాల్ చేసి చెప్తున్నారు సార్. మరి
5 మెంబర్స్ అడ్మిట్ కొట్టినా, ఓకేనా?
ఓకే సార్.
Right. So this address we are having, so we defined this struct address ADR, right? Struct address ADR. Instead of this one, instead of writing this address structure separately, we can also directly write at the second line. I am pointing out here, you see struct address ADR. In this place you can directly write the structure address. You can directly write all the definitions what you written above. In this line you can write, or otherwise the second method is just declare the structure variable inside another structure. That means also you are writing the whole definition of the structure of address inside the employee structure. So both are same. So I am defining a variable for the address structure inside the employee structure. That means the address structure is nested into the employee structure. What is nested into employee? Address structure is nested into employee. Employee is having address structure. So this is the concept. Now I'm going to write a void main. I'm going to write a
void main.
I'm going to write a void main without main function,
Sir, spelling
we
tappu,
are
sir.
not going to execute this particular program. So that I'm writing a void main. Inside this void main, into the employee, I want to give the information. What is the employee name I want to assign? I want to store the address of the employee. So to store the name and address of the employee, we need to create the memory for the members of name, members of the employee, the name
Employee.
and the address. For those two members, we have to allocate the memory. And on Saturday's class, we discussed that the memory for the members of the structure are allocated when you create the variable for it. When you create the variable for structure, then only memory is allocated for the members of the structure. So that to allocate the values to the name and address of the employee structure, we must create a variable for employee structure. When you create the variable for employee structure, automatically that ADR variable will be created inside employee. So first we will create the address for, a variable for employee structure first. How
Employee.
to create? Again, the syntax is a struct keyword
Structure.
followed by for
Employee.
which structure you are going to create the variable. That structure name you have to write employee. For this structure only, I have to create the structure variable. So structure name is variable name is EMP. So when you create EMP variable, that EMP variable of the structure employee will have the copy of name and ADR.
ADR.
The employee will have one copy of name and ADR,
Address.
and ADR will have copy of city, PIN, and phone number.
Address.
Phone number. So you are only creating the variable for employee structure, then memory allocated for name and address. That means indirectly you are creating the variable for a structure address also. You just create the variable for employee. That employee variable will create automatically the address structure variable. You don't need to create address structure variable. So now after declaring all the variables, write down CLR, SCR, SCR.
Sir,
Chapama.
sir, but we have already declared the structure address variable, no, sir.
Yeah, you created, but when you create the structure variable for employee, then inside that structure variable, that inside there is no one more structure variable is there no inside employee. For that,
Yes,
the
sir.
memory will be allocated. First, we have to create for employee.
Okay.
You create for employee, that employee will create the memory for ADR structure. If you
Indirectly.
indirectly it will create. If you don't create the variable for employee, you are not able to create for a address also,
Address.
because
Thank
the
you, sir.
address
Address.
is inside the structure employee. Right?
Okay, sir.
So if you create for employee, automatically for address it will create. Right. So now after writing the all the creating all the variables, we have to give the information to the employee. So for that, ask the user by using the printf function what you have to enter in the new line. Ask the user,
Percentile.
please enter
Percentile.
employee name, comma,
Address.
employee, EMP,
Address.
EMP city,
City.
comma, EMP pin code,
Address.
and
Pin code.
what is the last one? Phone number, employee phone number. All these
Mobile
details
number.
we have to enter. So first we have to enter employee name. So scanf you have to write for capturing the employee name. Scanf function, open parenthesis, closing parenthesis, in between double quotation. How to capture the employee name? It is a group of
Percentile C.
percentile C is a single character. So name is a group of characters. So capture with percentile.
Character.
Percentile S. Next city.
Percentile.
City is also
Percentile.
Percentile S.
Group of characters represented with percentile.
Percentile S.
And the third one,
Percentile D.
integer type, so percentile D.
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 The last one is the phone number
D.
we treated as characters, group of 10 characters.
Percentile S.
Percentile S.
Yes.
So when you capture name, city, and employee, PIN and phone number, and where you are going to store, that you have to write. First, you captured name, and where you are going to store, you are going
Address of
to the employee.
Employee. Address of employee.
address of operator.
Dot name.
Employee lo ఉన్నటువంటి name lo you have to assign. So where is the name?
EMP dot name.
Name is inside employee variable. So how to access the name which is inside EMP variable? We have to use the dot operator. We have to use dot operator.
Dot
So,
operator.
employee dot name, so that the first name will go into the EMP dot name, and comma. No need to keep any address operator because the string name is a pointer to itself. So next, again you are capturing the city. City, where is the city? City is there in the employee
EMP.
EMP. City is there in the EMP. Inside EMP we have address. Inside the address variable we have a city. Just don't confuse. Where is the city?
In employee.
In employee we have a address. Inside the address we have a city, we have pin code, we have phone number. So first, to access the city, we need to access the employee dot, then we have to access
Phone
the
number.
ADR variable. Again we have to use the dot operator with the employee variable. So employee variable lo ADR variable undi. Inside ADR variable we have a city. To access that city, we must use the dot operator with the ADR variable. So employee lo ADR undi kabatti we used employee dot ADR. ADR lo city undi kabatti then we are using ADR dot city. So it is also a string variable, string name. No need to write any address operator. Next, we captured integer pin code, and where is the pin code? Pin code is there in the address. Address is there in the employee variable. So first we have to access employee. In employee we have ADR, so that EMP dot ADR. Inside ADR we have a pin. So ADR dot pin. So pin is there in the ADR. ADR is there in the EMP variable.
Pin.
So to access pin, first we have to access EMP variable. Then inside the EMP variable we have ADR variable. Then to access the pin inside ADR, again ADR dot pin. So pin is integer type variable. Then we must use the address operator ampersand. The last one, again phone number, is a group of characters. Where is the phone number? Inside ADR. ADR is inside EMP. So first we need to access EMP dot. Inside EMP we have ADR. Inside ADR we have
Pin.
phone number. So no need to keep any ampersand or address operator because the phone number is a string name, and string name is a pointer to its memory location, right? So with this we captured all name, employee city, and employee pin number, and employee phone number also. Then after capturing and storing the respective variables, we have to print. How to print? Just let me see whether it is working or not. I am pressing
Printf.
0 errors, right? So just now, till
Yes.
now, I written code for only storing the data into the employee. And inside employee, we have one more structure variable, that is ADR. Inside ADR, we have 3 more members. So is this the concept is suitable for nested structure? Where is the nested structure we written?
Inside the employee.
Employee. Where is it?
Address.
ADR. So that is the structure. That second member of the employee is the structure we created inside the employee.
Address.
This is the nested one. So by the way, we will write to print the information also. How to print the information? Before printing the structure, employee structure information, Just I'm writing one more printf. Employee name. Here I'm taking two new lines. అది 40 minutes లో లాగౌట్ అవుతుందమ్మా. 40 minutes లో లాగౌట్ అయితే you log into the session one more time. ఓకేనా?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
చెప్తున్నాను, ఒకవేళ సెషన్ 40 minutes లో లాగౌట్ అవుతే యూ కెన్ అగైన్ లాగ్ ఇన్ టు ది సెషన్ ఆఫ్టర్ 40 minutes. And one more thing, don't expect the
Okay,
real time classes. And yesterday we have a session with the Tiviredi sir. He told that
3 o'clock.
yeah, we may not be having the real time classroom sessions. Don't expect those things. So 99% we are having the online classes only, and the syllabus will be completed in the online classes only. So we are not having the classroom teaching. So 99%
practical, sir?
practical we will think about it later. We
Direct.
need almost 3 days of time to complete the practical stuff.
Direct.
There is no problem at all. Anyway, we are going to have the 15 to 20 days time before the examination to complete lab internal and all. So right, after entering the employee information, how to print it? First I'm going to print employee name equal to symbol, and to print the name we have to use percentile s. And how to replace that percentile s with the name? Where is the name? Name is inside emp
Employee.
variable. How to access emp dot name? Because name is inside emp. And the next one more printf you write down, printf, and inside one single printf you can write down. To avoid the confusions, I am writing the separate printfs for each data. Right. Next, what you are going to print? I am going to print employee city. Employee city, and employee city is equal to, it is also a group of characters represented with the percentile s. And how to replace that percentile s? Comma
emp.city.
Yeah. Where is the city? City is inside ADR. ADR is
Address.
emp.adr.cd.
So to access city, first we need to access emp dot. Inside emp we have the ADR variable. Inside ADR variable we have a city. So that city will be accessed and printed in the place of percentile d. And next I am going to print the pin code. I am writing one more printf statement, new lines, two new lines. Employee pin code equal to percentile d, because the pin code is a integer type. And how to access the pin code? Where is the pin code? Pin code is inside ADR. ADR is inside EMP. So first access EMP dot, and inside EMP we have ADR variable. Inside ADR variable we have a pin. So pin is accessed and replaced in the place of a percentile d. The last one I am going to print the phone number of the particular employee, printf, semicolon, double quotation, and take new lines, two new lines for better readability. Employee phone number equal to percentile group of characters it is, right? It is not a floating point, or it is not a integer type. It is a group of characters. And how to access the phone number? Phone number is inside ADR. Is inside
ADR.
EMP variable. So first access EMP dot. Inside EMP we have ADR. Inside ADR we have a phone number. So phone will be accessed. So first we ask the user to enter name, city, and EMP pin and phone number. So he entered. With the scanf we captured. Now we are accessing same thing with the dot operator, and we are printing the employee name, city, pin code, and phone numbers by using individual printfs. And to stay back on the black screen, to stay back on the output screen, let me write hold back on the screen. HCH, and I'm pressing the Alt F9 here, 00 errors. Next, executing the program, Control F9. So is asking, please enter employee name, employee city, employee pin code, and phone number. First, I am entering the employee name. What is the employee name? Dennis Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie is the
Richie.
Dennis Ritchie is the employee. Dennis, you can write Dennis. Dennis is the employee name. Next, employee city is Hyderabad. And next, you write down employee pin is you write down 655 some 35. You write down. Next, what? Employee phone number is some 9441 550 you write down. Right. Next, press the enter. In the first phase, we given all the credentials. Everything is stored into employee data. And next, we are accessing the same thing and we are printing. See, if one printf statement is printed, employee name equal to Dennis, employee city equal to Hyderabad, employee pin equal to something. It is out of range. 65535 is out of range.
Wait.
So give the within the range value for 65535. And last one, employee phone number equal to 9445 and 5511. Right? So already we have seen this example on the Saturday's class, but what is the difference for that? For that example and this one, here
Nested sum.
we created a second structure, and that second structure is a member of another structure. That means the address structure variable is a member of employee structure. A address structure is written inside the employee structure. So that having the address structure variable inside the employee structure is nothing but a nested structure. Nothing but a nested structure. Any doubts regarding this?
Oh, sir.
No, sir.
టూ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ ఉంటాయమ్మా. ఒక స్ట్రక్చర్ యొక్క వేరియబుల్ అనేది ఇంకో స్ట్రక్చర్ లో రాస్తే దాన్ని మనం నెస్టెడ్ స్ట్రక్చర్ అంటాం. సో నెస్టెడ్ స్ట్రక్చర్ and array of structures both are completed. Array of structure is completed on Saturday, and today's class we completed nested structures. Both will be asked for short answers, mostly for the short answers. Definitions we have to write. If they come with the long answers, we have to write the 3 points and whole explanation, whole example we have to write. A total example program we have to write. Program kuda. If it is for a long answer, we have to write the program.
Okay, sir.
If it is a short answer, just write the 3 important points of
Definition.
definition for it. That's it. So with this, we completed structure topic. Next, we are going to start a union topic. There is no difference between union and structure. Here, we should talk about 1+1 offer. When you go to the shop, any shop, if you buy one dress, they will give you another dress also.
Get one.
The same way, there is no difference. There is no difference for structure and union concept. No difference for union and structure. If you know the how to create a variable structure and how to write a program for a structure and how to initialize a structure, all these things if you know, same thing will be applicable for union also. So what are the things we discussed under structure? First, definition. What is the definition? Structure is a group of different data types. In the same way, union also group of different data types. First, we on the structure we discussed the 4 important points. First one is defining a structure variable, and initializing the structure, accessing the structure.
Accessing values.
Same 4 points are we are discussing here. Defining a union, creating a union variable, and
Initializing a union variable.
And the last one is accessing the union. So till now, wherever you written struct keyword, in all other
Union,
you can write. What is the major difference? Only one difference is there. Only one difference.
Memory allocation.
Union.
There we are having a struct and here we are having a union. Right? Union. So here I instead of struct I written what? Union. The major difference is in the form of memory allocation.
Memory allocation.
Earlier I written struct here. If I say what is the memory occupied by address structure, then the memory allocated for address structure is sum of